From Middletown to Yale Law, the making of JD Vance. JD Vance embodies the American dream. He rose from humble beginnings in Middletown, Ohio, to the national stage. His upbringing in the Rust Belt instilled in him the values of hard work and resilience. Vance's mother struggled with addiction, highlighting the challenges faced by many working-class families. Despite these hardships, Vance excelled academically. He joined the Marines after high school, serving in Iraq as a press liaison. This experience deepened his sense of patriotism and understanding of national security. After his service, he attended the Ohio State University, graduating with honors. Vance then pursued law at Yale Law School, one of the most prestigious institutions in the country. At Yale, he interacted with students from diverse backgrounds, broadening his perspective on social and economic issues. This period also saw him grappling with the complexities of class and identity in America. After graduating from Yale, Vance worked as a venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. This experience exposed him to the world of technology and innovation, but it also deepened his concern for the plight of those left behind by globalization. Vance felt a growing disconnect between the coastal elites and the struggles of his hometown community. In 2016, JD Vance published Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis. The book became an instant New York Times bestseller and catapulted Vance into the national spotlight. Hillbilly Elegy offered a raw and unflinching look at the social and economic struggles of the white working class in Appalachia. Vance wove together personal anecdotes with sociological analysis to illuminate the challenges of poverty, addiction, and family breakdown. He argued that a culture of despair and lack of opportunity had trapped many in a cycle of poverty. The book resonated with readers across the political spectrum, sparking a national conversation about class, culture, and the future of the American dream. Hillbilly Elegy became a touchstone for understanding the frustrations and anxieties of a demographic that felt increasingly marginalized. Vance's writing gave voice to a group often overlooked by policymakers and the media. The book's success established him as a keen social observer and a powerful advocate for the forgotten corners of America. Inspired by a desire to serve his home state and address the issues he had written about, JD Vance entered the political arena in 2022. He announced his candidacy for the U.S. Senate in Ohio, seeking to replace retiring Senator Rob Portman. Vance's entry into the race immediately shook up the Republican primary, drawing both praise and criticism from within the party. Vance campaigned on a platform of economic nationalism, promising to bring back manufacturing jobs to Ohio and fight for policies that benefited American workers. He criticized trade deals that he believed had shipped jobs overseas and called for a more assertive foreign policy. Vance also emphasized his commitment to conservative social values, opposing abortion and transgender rights. His campaign drew large crowds, particularly in rural areas and former industrial towns. Vance's message of economic populism and cultural conservatism resonated with voters who felt left behind by globalization and alienated by the cultural shifts of the 21st century. He won the Republican primary, securing the nomination after a hard-fought and often contentious race. JD Vance's political ideology is rooted in conservative principles, but his views are also shaped by his upbringing in a working-class community and his experiences in the military and the business world. His stance on key issues reflects this unique perspective. On economic issues, Vance advocates for policies that he believes will boost American manufacturing, create jobs, and reduce income inequality. He supports tariffs on goods from China and other countries he views as engaging in unfair trade practices. Vance also calls for investments in infrastructure and apprenticeships to train workers for jobs in growing industries. Regarding national defense, Vance holds hawkish views, arguing that the United States must maintain its military superiority to deter adversaries like China and Russia. He supports increased military spending and a more assertive foreign policy, especially in regions he considers vital to American interests. On social issues, Vance aligns with the conservative wing of the Republican Party. He opposes abortion, supports gun rights, and criticizes what he sees as the erosion of traditional family values. Vance is also a vocal opponent of illegal immigration, arguing that it depresses wages and undermines national security. Section 5, the Vance-Walz Showdown, a clash of visions. The 2022 vice presidential debate between JD Vance and Tim Walz, the Democratic governor of Minnesota, offered a stark contrast in visions for America. The debate, watched by millions across the country, covered a wide range of topics, from the economy and healthcare to immigration and foreign policy. Vance, known for his sharp intellect and articulate delivery, presented a conservative populist message. He argued that the Biden administration's policies had fueled inflation, hurt American workers, and weakened national security. Vance advocated for a return to America First principles, emphasizing the need to protect American jobs and interests. Walz, representing the Democratic Party's more progressive wing, defended the Biden administration's record. He argued that their policies had helped the economy recover from the pandemic and expanded access to health care. Walz also criticized Vance's positions as being out of touch with the needs of working families and harmful to the environment. The debate highlighted the deep divisions in American society over the role of government, the distribution of wealth, and the country's place in the world. Vance's performance solidified his standing as a leading voice in the Republican Party, while Walz emerged as a strong advocate for the Democratic agenda. Section 6. Under the media microscope. Public perception of Vance. JD Vance's rapid rise in American politics has made him a lightning rod for both praise and criticism. His background, his book, and his political positions have attracted intense scrutiny from the media and the public alike. Vance's supporters view him as a refreshing voice in a political landscape dominated by career politicians. They admire his intelligence, his willingness to challenge conventional wisdom, and his commitment to representing the concerns of working-class Americans. His supporters see him as a champion of the forgotten man and a defender of traditional values. His critics, however, paint a different picture. They view him as an opportunist who has abandoned his working-class roots to align himself with wealthy donors and powerful interests. They criticize his rhetoric on immigration and race as divisive and harmful. Vance's critics also question his authenticity, pointing to his evolution from a critic of Donald Trump to a staunch supporter. The media's coverage of Vance reflects these polarized views. Some outlets portray him as a thoughtful, conservative voice, offering a much-needed perspective on the challenges facing the country. Others depict him as a dangerous demagogue exploiting cultural anxieties for political gain. Vance's every move is analyzed, his every word scrutinized as he navigates the treacherous waters of American politics. Section 7. The Path to the White House. Vance's VP Prospects. JD Vance is frequently mentioned as a potential vice presidential candidate in future elections. His appeal to key demographics and his conservative populist message make him an attractive choice. Vance connects with working-class voters, especially in the Midwest. His military and business experience add to his credibility. However, his lack of elected office experience and past Trump criticism could be liabilities. His views on immigration and trade could be polarizing. Whether he seeks higher office and overcomes these challenges remains to be seen. Section 8. A new generation of conservatism, Vance's political future. JD Vance's emergence on the national stage signals the rise of a new generation of conservative leaders who are seeking to redefine the Republican Party and its message for the 21st century. These leaders, often dubbed conservative populists, share a set of core beliefs, including a skepticism of free trade, a more assertive foreign policy, and a focus on the concerns of working-class Americans. Vance's future in politics is bright. He has a powerful voice, a compelling personal story, and a deep understanding of the issues that matter most to many Americans. Whether he chooses to run for higher office, remains a vocal advocate for his beliefs, or pursues other avenues of influence, JD Vance has already left an indelible mark on American politics. His journey from the struggling factory towns of Ohio to the halls of power in Washington reflects the enduring promise of the American dream. His story is a reminder that even in a time of deep division and uncertainty, it is still possible for individuals to rise from humble beginnings to make a difference in the world. JD Vance's political future is just beginning, and his impact on American politics is likely to be felt for years to come.